Going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Winner's Circle. Okay, we're back. It's your boy Cody. I'm here for a recap episode. Excited about the new season of Big Brother. If you guys are liking the Winner's Circle, make sure to share the love, to spread the love. You guys are liking the video. You guys are commenting, leaving a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know something you guys are looking forward to, and make sure you turn on those notifications. All right. Let's jump right into it. Exciting. The cast has been revealed. We saw the cast earlier this week, right? And so it's tough, right? There were some videos that came out, videos of the cast. We had different people. Shout out to Sharon Tharp. She was posting a bunch of videos, a bunch of different things that we were seeing with the cast. CBS did a great job of posting on their socials, making sure you could get a feel for the cast, their personality. But the episodes were where we got to actually see the cast, a little bit from their home, their life, some of their personality. And I have to say, it's a mixed bunch this year. It's a mixed bunch. It's hard to tell what's going to go on. I'm honestly, what I'm doing this year, I'm not going to get overexcited. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm just going to kind of take this season for what it is, right? Because I feel like every year, right? I know right now I'm excited. I'm excited about the new season. I'm excited about being back watching Big Brother, even though, if I'm being honest with you, the show kind of has this like weird, when you've played the game and you watch the show, there's like this almost like anxiety. Like I'll tell you what, watching, and it was at the end of the episodes when the cast all is sitting around and everybody finally is in and it's all 16 people. It was I felt kind of weird watching that moment of like everybody being not knowing what to do. It's like nerves are crazy high. Everybody is hot, volume is super high. They're like sitting down. Everybody's got to like explain themselves in like a 10-second clip. And the crazy thing about it is like psychologically you go into this house and you're just hoping that in that moment you're as likable as possible. Like you want people to like you, because at the end of the day, everybody talks about like, I am who I am. On me, whether people like me or not. But like when you're playing for $750,000, you want people to like you. I promise you that. So everybody can like kind of have that demeanor to them. And it's different in the outside, in the real world. When you're in the Big Brother house, you're in this crazy, crazy pressure cooker of a situation that kind of changes your mental state and changes how you think about things and changes what you say and how you say it and when you say it. And so it, like watching the show as somebody that's played the game now twice, it's like those little moments, I almost think back to it and it makes my like heart race a little bit, which is wild, but neither here nor there. Let's get into it. We have a new cast. Just going to fire through. I'm going to go through the cast. Everybody, I have them up here on the screen. So we're just going to run through the cast quick. I'm going to give you quick little things that I was picking up on. My early feel of the cast, right? So first we have Angela, the motherly figure, sweetheart, was tearing up talking about the experience of Big Brother. Absolute gem. Don't know how that's going to hold up in the Big Brother house. And I loved Angela, and I love you, Angela, and I'm so sorry, but I'm just like, I'm looking at Angela, and I feel like what I'm seeing with Angela is like easy to put on the block, very understanding, probably won't go home, even though she gets put on the block. Like that's what I feel for Angela, and I don't want to see it because I feel like I want her to be that like motherly figure that everybody really loves, but I can see that happening with Angela. I don't know. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. Quinn, super fan, probably going to start the game being very, very quiet. We'll get into the episode. Quinn wins the power and he gives himself a leg up. We don't know what that leg up yet is, but Quinn wins it. He's a super fan. But he also was, had a 50-50 chance because, we'll get into how it all happened, but he ended up only having to beat one person. So Quinn, super fan. I could see Quinn doing well. You know who Quinn gives me like the vibes of? Turner did really, really well in the game, and I could see Quinn doing well. If I'm being 100% honest. Okay, moving on. We got Leah. Leah came in. Leah said one thing that I'll tell you right now. It's like I can't help but roll my eyes and like, whatever. But it was like, guys, I don't get how guys win the game. They're so easy to manipulate. And I'm like, what? Like statements like that, I always am just like, I can't help but roll my eyes. But what I will say is I think Leah is going to be extremely competitive And I also think Leah is going to be good at the game. I think she's very intelligent, and I think she's going to be good. But I got to call it out when I see it. And when she said that, I was like, here we go. Here we go, Leah. But again, I think Leah can do well in this game. Tucker, my boy Tucker. So for those of you that don't know, I mentioned this. I put it on Twitter. Tucker and I met in 2015. Him and I were rep by the same agency. And so we did acting classes together. And so I've acted with Tucker before. In class, I got very close with him. He was somebody that when I would have to go in for auditions in New York City, him and I would go on a lot of auditions that were similar. So it would be like, I would always be like, what are you doing? I would go hang out at his place in Brooklyn. And he's just a very, very genuine dude. I will say the one thing about Tucker that drove me loco in the episode was just how casual he was in the competition. I was like, Tucker, lock in, okay? This is a competition. This is a competition show for $750,000. You're in the first competition of the season where you can get downgraded. Get your head in the game and stop talking about all the stuff that's in the boxes, okay? We get it. New York City is covered in rats and filth. Tucker got lucky in that competition. I'm fired up because I was like, Tuck, you're going to be in the bottom, bro. And finding out what having your game downgraded does this week, he's so lucky he didn't get that. Anyway, Tucker, that's my boy. So he's someone that I'm going to be rooting for this season. So I hope he locks it in. Tucker's got to lock it in. Kenny, really like Kenny. The thing about Kenny that I think is going to be tough, and it's tough. And we shouldn't do this, right? But whenever I see like undercover detective, I immediately think like, okay, Derek. And so for me, I'm like, the thing about Derek that was so great, and that the benefits that come from being an undercover detective is just like understanding body language, reading the room, having a conversation with somebody, like being able to like really dive in and articulate what they're saying and decipher that information at a pretty rapid pace. The thing that Derek had going for him was just that age, right? And so Kenny, that age gap is really, really difficult because like, again, Kenny is a little bit older than a lot of the other cast members. And so I really want to see Kenny do well, but it always ends up kind of being tough. But Kenny is somebody that I think he's got the attributes. I don't know if the age is going to be something that works against him. Okay, we have Lisa. I didn't really have much on Lisa. She's, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Chemo, really great personality, super genuine person. I know Chemo is somebody that I feel like he knows Big Brother. He's a fan of the show. And so he knew the things to say, but I don't know how much Chemo is going to act on those things. He seems like such a genuine, pure person that I don't know that he's going to be that like cutthroat drama person that he may want to be because he's seen Big Brother. And maybe that's like the people that he would enjoy watching. But I just think he's so genuine and such a kind person that I don't see that backstabbing person being him, being who he is. Mackenzie's going to be cutthroat. Mackenzie's going to be no bullshit. Mackenzie's coming to play. She's not messing around. First of all, I didn't realize when they were talking and showing her, how she played volleyball in college, I didn't realize how tall she actually was until they like flashed to the other guys and like they flashed to like Cam, who is a D1 baller. Okay, this isn't like other people that come on the show and like, yeah, I played college sports. It's like, bro, you played at Penn State. This guy's a baller, and she looked taller than he was. So I don't know. Athletic, gonna be intelligent, and the thing about Mackenzie that I think is gonna really suit her well is her background. Right, being in the construction background, she works around a lot of different men, so she knows how to deal with guys. She played a college sport, so she's like. She definitely, and like that brings you close with like women. And so I think Mackenzie is going to be somebody that can deal with many different types of people. And I think that's going to suit her very, very well. Early favorite is Mackenzie. Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn is going to be a savage. I think Brooklyn's going to bring some drama into the house, which I'm living for and I'm hoping for. I hope Brooklyn brings it into the house. She's got the pageantry background, which as we know is super cutthroat, super ruthless. Being in the pageantry world and succeeding in the pageantry world. And you saw it a little bit in her intro video. Cutthroat, ruthless. I think she's going to bring some drama. That's what I think Brooklyn's going to bring to the show. Before we go any further, we're going to hear from this week's sponsor, Fume. Have you heard that the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits led by the sponsor of today's video, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. Flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. Fume has a lot of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint and orange vanilla. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. Fume draws flavor from your mouth, has no vape, and you can use it anywhere. With non-toxic flavors, it is a guilt-free alternative. Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and Fume is backed by doctors in the US. Personally, my favorite is the mint flavor because it's minty, it's fresh. Orange vanilla is actually very, very good as well. And Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you could be the next success story. For a limited time, use code WINNERCIRCLE to get a free gift from your Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code WINNERCIRCLE or scan the QR code on screen to get a free gift with your order today. I'd like to thank Fume for sponsoring this week's episode. Let's get back into it. All right, so we're back. When we left off, we were talking about Matt. And so I think Matt's a nice guy. I think Matt is going to be very likable, but I also think that Matt may end up just being a threat to people. But if he can kind of turn on that charm, which he kind of looks like, he really does. I can't remember who said it. They said he looked like Prince Charming. I think it might have been Leah when they walked in. Yeah, it was Leah. And he really does. He has that like suave look. He also looks like he can be in Grease. Like if he slicked his hair back and the one like piece of hair like dropped down, I was like, bro, this guy looks like he can be in Grease. Like give him a jean jacket or a leather jacket. Jean jackets or leather jackets? Either or. He could be in that movie or he could be Prince Charming. I don't know. Chelsea, I think is going to be super cutthroat as well. She has that athletic background. The thing I'm still feeling Chelsea out. Like I think when I first saw Chelsea, Christy and I both were talking about it and we were like, ooh, we really like Chelsea, but I'm still feeling her out. I think Chelsea can either be, I don't think Chelsea's going to stink, but I think she'll either be like a top tier kind of like cutthroat kind of player, or she'll just be one of those like middle of the pack, like doesn't really ruffle any feathers, but I don't see her being a bottom player. I think she's going to be likable. So that I'm still trying to decipher how I feel about like where I can see Chelsea finishing. Joseph. I think Joseph thinks he's like the villain in his own story at the moment. We'll see. We'll see what he brings to the table. I'm not sure. The mustache is throwing me off, if I'm being honest. I don't know what to do with it. I think he even said it. The mustache is throwing me off. I don't know what to make of it. He kind of does look like the Midwestern, like villain character that's in the show. And so I don't know like if he's actually a villain or if he just like wants to be a villain. So we're figuring that out. That's Joseph. Do I think Joseph's going to do really well in the game? I don't know. Brings us to Cedric. We're just going rapid fire right now, people. Listen, I'm going to give us a break right here, right in the middle of the episode. Okay. Make sure you're leaving your comments. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're moving along to Cedric. Cedric, I really like Cedric. His personality's a little bit. He's like a big personality is what I mean by that. Not a little. It's like he's got a big personality. He's very young, but you can tell he's extremely intelligent, very observant, and very aware. And the reason why I say that is because it's not really easy to just like come into the game. And when he met Kenny, he mentioned the tattoo on his arm, the American flag, and it's like, that could be military, that could be police force. And I was just like, when he said that, I was like, that was incredible. And so I love his awareness, and I can see him doing really well if his personality doesn't like become too much for people. Because as we know in the Big Brother house, you're around these people 24/7. You never get a second away from people. And so depending on the personality types and depending on where your relationships form, like some people can get on your nerves. And he has that like kind of big personality that I'm hoping doesn't get on people's nerves because I really like Cedric and I think he can crush this game. The only thing now, this is the opposite of Kenny. The only thing I think working against him is his youth. And so when you're young and you're 21 years old, sometimes there's like a maturity factor that hasn't happened yet when it comes to like these social interactions and just like really, to be 100% honest, like kind of coming into your own. And that's the only thing I think can hurt Cedric. If like Cedric was 27, I'd be like, he's winning the game. 1,000,000% Cedric's winning the game. And I don't know why it is that I say that. Do you guys, I don't know if you agree with me or not. Like, I don't know if what the age range is of people that are listening to this, but I just felt like, you know, when I was 21, 22, 23, that's when I was on the show. I was very young. And there was like a maturity component that I wasn't like understanding just yet. And there was maybe like emotional decisions that were happening because I was young. Now, granted, this could be different for Cedric because he does have a military background, so he may have matured at a much earlier age. And he has been through some things in his life that maybe has made him mature at a much younger age. So if that's the case, it's very possible. But I just know for me that young age, there's different things that happen as you go through life where you kind of almost like settle down and that like hyper energy kind of settles down and you make more rational decisions versus emotional decisions. So, but again, the military background could just wash that all away. But so maybe I'm projecting that onto him, which is very possible. I may just be projecting it onto him. But again, Cedric is one of my early favorites. One of my early favorites. Come on, Cedric. Rubina, first and foremost, 4'9", wild. That is like a wildly short, like it was crazy when we were watching the competition, like how she just had her feet like shooting out, like when she was spinning on the chair. And she's going to be, I think she's going to be a big personality. I think she's going to be the one that like makes everybody laugh. She's going to be the one that kind of like gets along with a lot of people, which I think is going to do her well. And I also think she's going to be super cutthroat. Okay, now we have Takor. And I think Takor is going to be crazy, crazy brilliant. Like Takor to me is going to be somebody that can see and understand what's happening in the game. Because I don't know what it is about her. I just feel like her brain is just kind of moving at a very fast pace. You could tell based off of, you know, the things that she had done in her past. And even just being a young entrepreneur at 23 years old, like there's going to be elements of her game that are super heightened. And then hopefully the social component can kind of mold as well, because you can tell she was almost describing herself as like the nerd. And so I don't know if that means that it's going to be tough for her to maybe go out and mingle with people, because again, this game, and I think she was the one that described it as like being back in high school. We talk about that on the outside. We talk about how Big Brother makes you feel like you're back in high school again. Like it brings a lot of different walks of earth, but it's a lot of the people that you see in high school. Like you have the nerd, you have the jock, you have the like I don't know what else you got. You get the nerds and the jocks, and then there's like the people that wear 2 straps in their backpack versus the people that have the 1 strap on their backpack. Now I'm just going through things from 21 Jump Street, and I'm trying to think of the different groups of people that were in 21 Jump Street that they described, but I'm just kind of going on a tangent right now, so I'm going to bring it back. But Takor, don't know how that like social element is going to be with her in the game, so eager to see that. But we'll find out. Cam. Now, it's so tough for me because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like someone like Cam, I see Cam and just like being that athlete and being an athlete in school for me, like I see someone like Cam and I'm like, I would gravitate immediately to Cam. So I'm trying to like give more of like an objective view on how Cam is going to do in the game, because subjectively I kind of just love him and I'm like, bro, I feel like we'd be boys. So I'm trying to think of how he's going to be in the game, and I think it's going to be tough because like he's going to be likable. I like what he mentioned early in one of his interviews, and it was like, I'm going after super fans because I'm telling you right now, Cam, the super fans are going to come for you. So I love that you said it, and I need you to go after the super fans. You got to go after the Quins. You got to get them out of the house because they will target you because they view you as a threat because you're a stud, dude. It's just how it goes. You're a stud, and that people are going to target you. So Cam, get the super fans out. Stat. I love Cam. I don't know if you can tell. I also think he can. I think he can do well because when you're likable, he has to kind of dial it back. He has to be aware of his stature and what he looks like and go into it in a sense of maybe you stink at a competition and then you vocalize it to the house. So like do bad in a comp, talk about how bad you did in the comp. Minus the fact that the first comp that he was in, he was buzzing, he was flying around, he was grabbing the words and he had the best time. So like don't tell people you did that well. Like you got to go into it and just kind of like downplay being good at competitions because people are going to view Cam as just like this competition beast. And realistically, this is a very even house when it comes to how well these people did in the competition early on, because you saw people do very well in this competition, not really deal with the pressure of it, other than Angela, who like unfortunately fell over and hit the wrong button. But it's like everybody really did well in that first competition. But for some reason, it always goes after like the athletic stature guys. And so I just want Cam to dial that back. Anyway, enough about Cam. I talked about enough about Cam there. Oh, and that's the end of the cast. You know what? I'm so hyped that we rounded it out with Cam right there. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Who are your early favorites? And I'm going to let you know of the group who I think is going to win the game of Big Brother. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? I will tell you this. Based off of a lot of the things mentioned by the girls in the house early on, there was like a lot of things mentioned about like negative about dudes. Okay. So I'll tell you right now, the girls are going to try to work together. Is it going to stick it together? Who knows? I'm trying not to be like, okay, so we had a guy win with Xavier, then Taylor won, then Jag won. So it's got to be a girl. Cause like sometimes there's back-to-backs here. But I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling a girl winner. I'm feeling a girl winner. And I think I'm going to go with, all right. I took a long pause there. Took a quick little break. We might as well have had a commercial break in there. But the winner of Big Brother 16 that I'm going to pick right now on the first episode, after the first week, first two episodes, we haven't even had an HOH happen yet. I'm going with I don't know why this is so hard for me. I don't know why this is so hard. Because I feel like I'm looking around and I'm like, it could be any one of these people. Their personality, competitive nature. Because again, this is a competition show based off of like how you can do socially, how you can do in competitions. Are you likable? And then you need a little bit of luck. So I'm going to go with my gut. First one I was going to say, I'm going to go with Mackenzie. I think Mackenzie is going to do well this year because I think she's going to be somebody that has that competitive nature to her. And I don't know what it is about like that she's worked in construction and has dealt with different people and has worked in like different types of industries. So it just makes me feel like she's going to be very easy to like go back and forth and have conversations with like anybody that's in the house. And so I'm going to go with Mackenzie. That's my early pick. And then dark horse, who I would actually pick if he was a little bit older, Cedric. Love Cedric. Kind of feel like if he can just, get through this first week after what we just saw is going down with the twist, I like Cedric. All right, so what do you guys think? Who are your favorites to win? Who do you think is going to win and why? Because I know a lot of people tend to watch Big Brother and they're like, so-and-so is going to win. But it's like, why do you think they're going to win? Like, give me something. Give me something down low in the comments as to why you think whoever you guess is going to win. I need some substance with that. All right, so now we're going to get into the first two episodes. Again, we learned a little bit about everybody's personalities. We learned a little bit about where they're from, what they do, yada, yada, yada. Let's talk Big Brother, the game. Okay, we have twists, we have turns. The first thing they throw at these house guests, as if their minds aren't spinning at 100 miles an hour all over the place, is a vote to see if they want to add another house guest into the house. And then what do? They throw it in their face that it wasn't actually a person. It's BBAI. It's an AI that is going to be in the house, whether you voted yes or you voted no. And now if you voted no, we're going to throw you in the dungeon and we're going to put you at the bottom of the barrel. As if this game isn't stressful enough, now they're going to make these house guests panic every time this AI comes onto the screen. So we had the first group. We had an even 4-4 split. 4 people voted no, 4 people voted yes. Didn't matter. The AI came in the house. Then the second group comes in, okay? We had 6 people vote no, 2 people vote yes. Didn't matter. AI came into the house. It was wild to me that is the first twist they throw in the house, because everybody knows, right? Big Brother is a twist. But I will say this. One of the things that I noted was when the AI came in, it mentioned that, like I said, you would not like if you didn't put me in the house. And so for me, it was like the AI was saying a couple things, and I didn't write them down, but it was mentioning different things that they said in the video as to like clues that they used when you either voted yes or no. So what I think the house guests are going to need to do if they want to do well in this game with this twist is always be paying attention to what the AI is saying. Any line that comes from the AI may have a little clue, like give you a little inkling into something that's coming, and you're going to want to pay attention to that. I could be wrong, but just my Big Brother head right now is telling me it's like, and this is when you go back into the game, you overthink everything. It's like, the AI is going to have a ton of involvement in this season. So listen to everything the AI says, decipher everything it says, because you might get a clue. You might get a little bit of a breadcrumb in there with the AI. So pay attention to the AI. The competitions. Christy and I were sitting on the couch watching these competitions, and I have to tell you, shout out to the comp team over there in the Big Brother. Shout out to the comp team over there on Big Brother, because the first competitions were kind of different than what we had seen before, right? Even like poking the head in with all the stuff. We had seen something like that in like a veto. The chair spinning and the colors I thought was awesome. Although that was such a cool comp. I thought putting them in the box and having it tilt all over the place and having to pull things out and plug things in, I thought was really cool. So shout out to the comp team. They're putting it together. I know it kind of seems, so Christy mentioned this when we were watching, so I wanted to give a little bit of insight into kind of how these competitions break down. So, and it was due to the fact that Chelsea struggled in the competition and forgot to plug the plug-in after finishing the time, after finishing and placing the words on the correct boxes. So Christy was like, I feel like they didn't explain the competition well. So what I want everybody to know out there is that when these competitions get explained by Julie, by the AI, and they make it seem like it's kind of like cinematic, they literally sit you through a ton of time, and the competition producer comes in, explains all the rules again, you fire all questions away. So there's like no misinterpreting what happens in these competitions. I think what happens is a lot of times nerves come into play, right? So you get nervous. You're panicking, you're trying to move, which is why I always say when it comes to competitions, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. When you are competing in these competitions on Big Brother, you want to perform smoothly and you want to perform quick. But if you try to perform quick, you will probably end up getting chaotic and not doing well for yourself. So you got to be smooth, and smooth is fast. So anybody out there that's watching for next season of Big Brother, when you go into the house and you're doing the first competition, take a piece of advice from the dude that went in and smashed the first HOH comp. Okay? I like slowly was feeling out the pegs, because anybody that stepped up to that first competition was like, this can't be that easy. There's got to be wobbly ones here. So I was like, okay, I'm going to. And also I didn't go first, so I was hearing people go, ooh. So I knew people were eating shit. So, taking everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to slowly try to do this. And once I got to a point where I was like, Okay, I'm going to make a calculated decision because I don't think any of the small ones are going to be wobbly. I'm going to take off on those. Smooth, fast, smooth, fast. We're rocking, we're rolling. Okay, anyway. Okay, and so brings us to the end of the second episode. All right, so we went through the cast. We went through some of the competitions. Now we're gonna go over the twist that came with being downgraded, right? This twist might be one of the most brutal twists I've seen to start a game. Chelsea and Cedric get their games downgraded, which means they cannot compete in a single competition this week. They can't compete in the HOH. They can't compete in the veto. They also cannot vote on eviction night, which is a huge twist if you think about it, because losing 2 votes if they're not on the block is crazy at the start of the game. And they can still be nominated. So what do you do as the HOH now? If you win the HOH, do you just nominate the 2 people that have been downgraded because they can't compete? And you know, more likely than not, the nominations are going to remain the same, because in the first week, somebody using the power of veto to just save somebody and mess up the HOH's nominations, more likely than not, won't happen. So you can go the easy route. You can say, you 2 were downgraded. I'm sorry. You deal with the brunt of it. And you are most likely sending one of those people home because they can't compete. The veto is not going to get used by somebody unless they're trying to like shake up the house, but like, and you would also shake up your game a little bit. So you can go a very easy route of just nominate 2 people, keep them on the block, keep your blood minimized in the first week. Tell everybody, like, listen, I'm keeping you guys safe. I'm just going to do whatever, as long as the house kind of goes along with it. Because whatever this first HOH does, they need to make decisions based off of what the house wants to do. Keep the bloods off your hands. But you know what? I'm going to take that back. And you know why I'm going to take it back? Because like I said in the last episode, I'm very aware at the game and the style of play that we have kind of influenced the game with. And it's like no blood on your hands early, be likable, go under the radar. So you know what I want this HOH to do? I'm not giving the big brother advice anymore. I'm giving the viewership. I'm giving what the viewers want. Throw anybody on the block, okay? Don't talk to the house. Go up in the HOH room, make your decision on your own, and don't talk to anybody. Don't make an alliance. Don't do anything. Actually, that's not good, because then we'll have like a Frenchie situation. Then they'll just go home week 2, so we don't really want to see that either. I don't know. Do we want to see that? I don't know. Anyway, insight, if you win this first HOH, keep the blood minimal. You can do that by putting 2 of these, by putting the downgraded players on the block. They can't compete. You leave them on the block. You send one of them home. So then one person's in the house that you pissed off. That's a good play. Okay. Or you can go the route of being the nice HOH. I'm not going to put either of you on the block. You know what? I'm a nice guy. I'm not putting you on the block. And I hope you can protect me. So now you get those 2 off. Now you just pissed off 14 other people. You just pissed off 14 other people. Now what are you going to do? You're going to piss 2 more people off there? And then what if you end up putting somebody back on the, what if you have to do a 3rd nominee? Now you piss 3 people off. What do you do? For me, I'm minimizing how many people I got to piss off. Sorry, you 2, you were bottom of the barrel. I'm a weasel. I can't believe this. I made this. I don't make these decisions. I'm such a rat. I don't care. Get on the block. And then one person goes home and you form relationships throughout the house the rest of the week. That's what I would do. What would you do? What would you do? Anyway, great first 2 episodes. They kind of flew by, to be honest. I know they were only an hour long, but like I felt like, you know, the first 2 episodes kind of flew by. I'll tell you what, shout out to the producers. I'm really happy that Big Brother didn't do the live move-in. I think the live move-in is like really chaotic. It's like a lot of dead air. The timing is kind of just off. Like Julie can't just be Julie. And I really enjoyed in these first 2 episodes hearing DRs going on throughout the episode, much like it was in the past. And I know that because when we were on 16, we had an early move in and the live feeds didn't come on. And so live feeds are on. Check them out. Remember, this year's live feeds are very different. So if you want to watch the live feeds and you don't want to miss things and people aren't going to be cutting it, there's no rewind functionality. You cannot rewind live feeds. You're not going to be able to grab stuff. So you need to see it in real time. Okay. So all you feedsters out there, all the people that want the feeds, you love the feeds, you need the feeds. Make sure you're there live or else you're going to miss out. We will be back next week. Tiffany is going to be joining the Winner's Circle next week. We're going to be recapping what we've seen between the first two episodes. We have an episode on Sunday. We have 2 twists coming out. We have the deep fake HOH and America's veto. I don't know what either of those 2 things are. America's veto. Does that mean we're going to have America vote and there's going to be a veto that America gets to use? That would be cool. Involve the fans right off the rip. Could be nice, especially in the scenario that the 2 downgraded players get put on the block and then America doesn't like that the HOH did that and pulls one of them off. Yikes. Didn't think about that. And I'll tell you right now, if I was in the house, I would definitely not be thinking about that because there's not a chance I'd be thinking that America is going to get a vote this early in the game. So, wow, that could throw a wrench in the game. We're in for a treat. Sunday, we're going to find out about the fake HOH. We're going to find out about America's veto. Make sure you guys are tuning in to CBS and make sure you are tuning back into the Winner's Circle next week. Episodes are going to be coming out every Friday. Again, like, comment, turn on those bell notifications. I want to thank you for joining me this week on the Winner's Circle. See you next time.